Dragon Age, the Veilguard, we got a 20-minute gameplay reveal and quite a bit of backlash. Like, if you turn on your YouTube dislikes for it, man, that thing has got a shit ton of dislikes. Shit ton of... The ratio is astonishing. Because, like, I didn't think it looked that bad, but I'm also not a diehard Dragon Age fan. But I thought it looked good.
From what I understand, granted, I watched enough of the showcase to see what the gameplay looked like.
Yeah.
Because I'm also not a Dragon Age guy.
Yeah.
My general understanding from seeing a few videos about it and seeing like diehard Dragon Age fans talk about it, and then just like fantasy action
Genre
adventure fans, the diehard Dragon Age fans are not happy, and the just fantasy adventure gamers think it looks okay. And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. That's about accurate. The most excitement that I've seen from the game seemed to be from like content creators around like BioWare and stuff like that. I've got a couple of like BioWare ambassadors that I follow who had already gotten their hands on the game previously, and they've said that even this gameplay doesn't really do it justice. So apparently amongst them, the game is great, but even amongst diehard fans of BioWare, of Mass Effect, of Dragon Age and everything, it's like what you're saying. I'm seeing a lot of negativity. For someone like me who's not a diehard fan, I think the game looks fine. I'm looking forward to playing it. But a lot of people are calling it like Dragon Age Fortnite. Like a lot of people's problems is like with the graphical approach.
Yeah, but that's because people are seeing it for the first time, and it's a trailer and everything. We've talked about this a lot with different games, where you can complain about an art style the first time you see it as much as you want to. An hour into playing that game, you won't be able to tell that it's not what you're used to.
Yeah.
One thing I've seen is like gameplay wise, this looks much more just like an action combat system. And I know Dragon Age fans are much more of a fan of like Dragon Age Origins as like the gold standard of Dragon Age.
Right.
So I think people were kind of hoping that it would shift that way a little bit, where you have more of the make your actions. You can kind of pause, choose your actions, run through a sequence of events and everything, and do that, as opposed to, all right, jump, attack, dodge, attack, dodge, special attack, dodge, things like that, which is standard for 3D action games, which looks to be more of the pace of this.
Right. I know for the gameplay and them kind of going in this direction, and even like maybe like just like the art style approach and stuff like that, all of those things that make this game kind of stand out and feel different than the others. Honestly, the vibe that I get from it is that it's just them trying to cast a wider net to pull in a new audience. You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe that I've got, is that they're just trying to cast the widest net possible.
The only problem I could see with that is
catering too much to new fans and not your diehards.
Yeah, you're catering to your new fans, and your hope
potential new fans.
Your hope is to get them into the series. But if you get them in with this game and they go, okay, let me go check out some of these other Dragon Age games.
Right.
They're gonna go. It's like they're gonna probably look up, okay, what's the best Dragon Age game or something, and then they'll go back and play Origins, and then as they move forward, they're gonna go, what's happening here? Mm-hmm. Because it's going to move away from... It's going to slowly kind of move away. I mean, story-wise, it's all there. Mm-hmm. It's like you'll have whatever the Dragon Age story is there, which people seem to genuinely enjoy. But gameplay-wise, it's like you're going to be sending them from your new system back to the original system that everybody liked, and then playing back through it. People are going to be like, what has happened?
How did we get here?
So it's going to be like, then it's like, because the thing is, this Dragon Age game, not a day one pickup for me. This is going to be like, if I see it on sale, if I come across a copy or something, I'll give it a go. But it's not something I'm excited for, like really looking forward to. Mm-hmm. But I'm also the player that like I would play it and not go back.
Yeah.
And play the other ones.
Yeah.
That might I might be the person they're trying to get.
True. Yeah, that's probably a good way to assume it. As for me in pickup, depending on when it will come out, will depend on if it's a day one or not. Because I've got a lot of stuff going on around that range, man. I mean, me and you, we've got Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero. That same day, I've got Metaphor. You know, because it's going to be on Game Pass, I got Avowed a couple weeks later. You know, November 12th. You know, I'll probably still be playing Black Myth. You know, I've got shit going on in those months. I'm busy.
Avowed's also like that's also going to be a game for me.
It's on Game Pass. So.
That's just, well, I mean, that's one I was already like, wanting to pick up. And like I said, when we talked about it earlier in the week, like, stop showing me new trailers and stuff for it. At this point, the decision has been made for a long time that I'm going to play this game. Mm-hmm. Just release it.
Yep. Now just got to wait for that November 12th release.
Yeah. It's like the more you show me now, the less I'm going to be interested.
Right.
Funny enough.
Oh, and then of course got Life is Strange around that time period too. Excited for that too. So depending on when Dragon Age comes out will depend on if it's a day one, because every game I just named to you takes priority over it. As of right now, how I feel. So I don't know. I mean, I thought the gameplay looked fun. The controversy around it, I can understand aspects to it for sure. But I also see it as like what we were just saying. I think they're just trying to cast a wider net, trying to get someone like you to play. That's what I think.
There was also an interesting point that I saw. I forget where I read the article at, but there was some. I think it was about Dragon Age, where there were complaints where people were. Or some people were saying they were hoping they were going to see more like character integration or like aspects from Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, yeah.
In it. And then I believe it was one of the developers or somebody came back and they're like, you understand we can't just add that to it because we see people like it. We've been working on this for 5 years or whatever. Right. It's like development cycles are a long time because like in the same way we're now seeing the Overwatch effect. We're getting into the Ghost of Tsushima effect. Mm-hmm. 4 years down the line, we're going to have the Baldur's Gate effect.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like...
we really are.
Which, I'll tell you what, out of all of these effects that we're seeing...
That's the one
That's the one I'm looking forward to.
That's it. That's the one, baby. Oh, my God.
But, yeah, it was just another interesting thing I saw where I'm like, yeah, people really enjoy... a game, and then they're like, more game, do this. And it's like, yeah, it's going to happen, but you're going to have to wait.
Yeah, exactly. No, we did also get a lot of fun facts about the game because there was a developer Q&A later that week, which, man, I can't help but to wonder. I wonder how those developers felt going into that Q&A after just getting trashed on the gameplay. It's like, well... we already agreed we do this fucking Q&A, so I guess we'll do it. But they're just like, man, this sucks.
That's when you send people out there, and it's like, they're like, you better screen these questions.
All right, so I didn't even capture all of them, man. There was too much information. There was a lot of like minuscule stuff, but I captured ones that I thought was at least notable or interesting. So quality and performance modes will be available on console. It's up to 60 FPS, photo mode confirmed. Fully offline single player, no EA account linking required. Love to see that. You can play as a human, the elf, the dwarf, or the Quinari. Then you can choose your backstory, 6 factions to pick. Each faction has 3 specific buffs. Shout out to that. This was pretty interesting. You can customize your Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition in the character creator because it will have an impact in your story. They will show up. So I may have missed this, but I don't know if you're able to like move over a save file and your original Inquisitor. I don't know if you can do that like you can in the Mass Effect games. I haven't seen that, but
you'll probably have the option for it, or I mean,
it makes sense.
Then again,
it's with Mass Effect.
It's also going to be just an appearance thing that would come through.
It would be,
and it's very like there's also the chance that you just won't be able to do that because they may not have all the same options for like the way a character can be created and like. Because it could be as simple as like hairstyles, eye options, makeup options, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You may not be able to make the same character, but you can take a few minutes to make something a close approximation.
Right, exactly. Warrior, Rogue, and Mage classes. Each class has 3 subspecs. It has open-ended explorable areas. I kind of got the same vibe when they showed it in the gameplay, and when they talk about, I kind of get the vibe of like almost like a God of War Ragnarok was kind of the vibe that I
Yeah,
got.
massive open zones, but not open world.
Exactly.
Which I will say, way better route to go.
Yeah, no, I'm here for that. 3-party size, like Mass Effect, combat focus is in real time, but you cannot take direct control of companions like in past Dragon Age. But you can use like your pause little wheel menu and issue ability commands for you and your allies. So that that direction feels like they're going more in what you can do with like Mass Effect, where you never can really control your allies, but you can control like if they use certain actions and stuff, or heals or whatever, or weapons and whatnot. There is a hub area for the player like Skyhold Normandy called the Lighthouse, and companions can romance other characters if you opt not to romance them, which I love that because they started including that with Mass Effect 3. And I just thought it was really cool where you can see a couple of your companions romance. Like if you don't romance like Tally, you'll see Garrison and Tally get together. And I think that's really sweet. Ashley, if Ashley's alive, Ashley and James will end up kind of hitting it off. So stuff like that I thought was really cool in Mass Effect 3. Just seeing how everyone kind of reacts, or like your NPC companions react. So the fact they're going to continue with it, I'm here for it.
That's why you've played it so many times. You just keep killing off characters to see who they get with next.
I do not kill off characters, all right? Actually, you have to potentially kill her. You don't have a choice in that one. I make sure everyone lives on the suicide mission.
Yeah, maybe now after you've got all your testing done.
So actually,
we're not having a Mass Effect conversation.
Hold on.
Nope.
Hold on.
Nope.
Hold on.
Nope.
Hold
you can
on.
talk about it next year.
No, hold on. So when I first beat Mass Effect 2, I actually only had one person die. So shout out to that in the suicide mission. Unlike our friend Brady, who had like 6 people die.
Yeah, because he read the name of the mission.
Suicide mission, yeah. Man, I'm so upset that his save file got like deleted or whatever, because I was so fascinated how his Mass Effect 3 playthrough would have gone, because he lost some really important characters. So I thought anyway, but overall, I think the Dragon Age stuff, I didn't think it was terrible. I don't think it deserved the controversy it got, but it is what it is, kind of thing. That's the internet. That is the internet gaming community.
I think it's one of those where if it didn't have, like, if you took the Dragon Age name away from it and just showed the game off,
The Veilguard,
and called it the Veilguard or something,
yeah,
I think people would have responded positively.
Yeah,
I think it's just the Dragon Age name attached to it is what people are not happy about.
Right. I know one thing that people are also not happy about is they are not happy with the name change. Not because of they love Dreadwolf more than the Veilguard, whatever. Like I like Dreadwolf more. People are just pissed that the is there.
It does not make sense. Well, no, it doesn't make sense that the is there. I'm on this team.
Yeah. Like
it should just be Dragon Age Veilguard.
It should be Dragon Age Veilguard. Like the Dragon Age the Veilguard as its official title is stupid. So dumb. Whoever greenlit that needs to be fired. That's so stupid. Steve said Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was fun as fuck. It was fun as fuck. But it pissed me off that they forced you to play it to get the best ending of Mass Effect 3. Did not like that decision. That pissed me off with the original release, even though I did enjoy the multiplayer.